We'll see how accurate my paraphrase is while they pull it up. It was the only hope the president has of getting re-election and of being popular with the public is to have a new Oklahoma City or 9/11 event so he can look strong and look like he can protect the people. And then you saw other current White House advisors say, absolutely, Obama faces growing credibility crisis was the article. Pull it up for me, please, and I'll actually read the quote for people. But again, and Watson in his article, in fact, I should just read the rest of the article. In the rest of his article, he actually does link to those. Very, 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 very important information. And so it is absolutely essential that we get this info out to everyone right now. It is so important. I mean, if you thought I was going out on a limb a year and a half ago begging mainline conservative talk show hosts to go public with this, and a lot of them did. Michael Savage, Glenn Beck, and others did listen to me, and I appreciate that because they saw the facts. Limbaugh better talk about this. Everybody better talk. Sean Hannity, the ringleader of establishment neocondom. Listen. Just because you've posed as conservatives to lead us down a rat hole, the system is now going to betray you like Hitler and his Knight of the Long Knives, going after his own minions first, the brown shirts. The globalists want to discredit anybody who is for sovereignty, anybody who's for low taxes, because the bankers are going into their austerity phase of total control. Okay, here's the quote from the Financial Times of London. Obama faces growing credibility crisis. The bottom line here is that Americans don't believe in President Obama's leadership, says Rob Shapiro, another former Clinton official and supporter of Obama who advises him. He said he has to find some way between now and November, that's the election coming up, of demonstrating that he is a leader who can command confidence. And short of a 9/11 event or an Oklahoma City bombing, I can't think of how he could do just that. Now, let me pull up this next clip. Krugman, well, no. First, we've got to play the new DHS piece here. So first we'll play this DHS new 30-second promo, and they're all the same. Every white's a terrorist. Every person with brown skin is good. It's like Nazi Germany reversed. I was against demonizing Muslims. When we wrote these articles a month ago, people said, well, why are you saying don't demonize whites? I'm against saying black people, an ad where all the terrorists are blacks and the good guys are whites. I was against stereotyping Muslims as terrorists. Whoever the establishment wants to go after, if they want to invade your country, they're going to stage terror and say your country did it, like Iraq. Or blame you for somebody else's terror, like Iraq. Now the banks want to take over the West. They're going to provocateur and stage terror and blame it on people. It's major branding. It's 100% fact that they're moving from beta testing to actually going live with this. We could be days or weeks away. Our exposing this is one of the only things that's held them back. You don't think they're freaked out by Glenn Beck coming out and saying the Obama administration's getting ready to stage a new Oklahoma City? He said that on Fox. And a couple of weeks later, he announced that he was leaving. Okay? This is life and death. This is not a game. All you people that wanted to buy into the fake terror threat because it was fun to hate Muslims and get scared of them, you're now going to have this whole system turned around on you. It's already been turned around years ago behind closed doors against anybody that's for decency and a constitutional republic. Now, here's the new piece. It's not as powerful on radio, but you can watch the video at Infowars.com. But like you don't know that for yourself. And now I've been at an airport and set my bag under the table while I'm eating something at one of those little cafes that are out under the rotunda, and I'll go over and get some napkins, and I see people, oh my gosh, that guy just walked 10 feet away to get napkins. They're training us how to live like prisoners in a giant jailhouse. But meanwhile, I've tried to call Homeland Security. I've tried to call the local Austin police, because that's who Homeland Security referred me to say, I have witnesses that saw the U.S. government get the underwear bomber on the plane. He was drugged. And they said, we're not going to take your report. And then, of course, later it did come out because of pressure that, yeah, the U.S. government did get him on the plane. An unnamed U.S. U.S. intelligence agency asked the State Department to get him on the plane. Detroit Free Press. Undersecretary of State, Kennedy. So this is what we're dealing with here. And they're not going to stop. Now, the next clip I want to go to is Krugman in the New York Times. He basically gave a slightly veiled, coded message on national television on CNN with the big Bilderberg Group, Fareed Zakaria program. Krugman calls on government to manufacture war to save economy, and then he spins it as an alien invasion rant. And people didn't get what this meant. He meant a new war, an outside threat, a terror threat. When they talk about alien attacks, that's code for stage terror.
And decades and decades of debate about that.
We need a unifying event, because in that episode, the government does stage the alien threat. It turns out that's Project Bluebeam. That is a declassified, partially declassified U.S. government plan. So they're openly talking about it. I've got a bunch of other clips, and at the very start of the show, I played Obama saying that the new threat is not al-Qaeda, but lone wolf terrorist, basically agreeing with Biden, saying the Tea Party are terrorist. This is the rollout of that. But they're so threatened by patriots and people that are aware of the globalist that, again, they're going to hit it from multiple angles. They're going to attack it and say that we're terrorists and stage events. That's now pretty much a certainty unless we completely get the word out. And when they do stage an event, you've got to go directly to it. You've got to go towards the danger. If they stage something, God forbid, here in Austin, I'm going to go directly towards it so that I can document and get that key evidence right after it happens. That's what's so important to catch them. If it happens in other areas of the country, the world, you've got to get there. You've got to videotape it. You've got to talk to witnesses immediately before the official lie is put out. We've got to get that intel up front. But I've broken all of this down. I've warned you. Now you can see the rollout in full view. But they're not only attacking it, saying if you're against globalism, if you're against losing sovereignty, if you're against being debt slaves, if you're against a police state, you're a terrorist. And connecting political activity and a peaceful protest in San Francisco, so they cut the cell phones off in part of the city. I mean, this is the internet kill switch. This is the surveillance grid. This is the control grid. One of our listeners goes and says, we're going to protest the Federal Reserve today peacefully. 50 cops are ringing it when he gets there because they were surveilling his Facebook. They are branding normal political activity as terrorism right now, but at the same time sending in Rick Perry, sending in Michelle Bachmann to say, hey, the Federal Reserve is almost treasonous. It's all rhetoric. It's all rhetoric. So they're hitting us from every angle. They're trying to co-opt us while at the same time attacking. And that's because they know the awakening is on. They know it's happened. Now we're going to start the second hour here in a few minutes and go to Michelle, Austin, Woody, John, Alan in Denmark, and many others that are patiently holding. We're also going to get into Ron Paul's new TV ad, the one who can beat Obama. We're going to get into Libyan rebels claim they will topple Gaddafi by the end of August. You know, this is the same war propaganda, regardless of which side you're on or if you're neutral, like I am on the whole Gaddafi situation. The Drudge Report today has a flashback. I love it, where he gives links to the White House's own statements. White House, Gaddafi toppled by end of August. Flashback, toppled by March 30th. Their days are numbered. It will last days, not weeks. Flashback, April 15th. Your days are numbered. It will last days, not weeks. Flashback, May 11th. Muammar Gaddafi's days are numbered. Days, not weeks. I mean, that is incredible. Germany, France propose collective government, handing over what sovereignty in Germany and France have left to the private banking cartel. They're calling it a private banking government, a bank of the world. And the Daily Mail says Paris and Berlin launch a coup to control Eurozone, demanding rights to dictate economic policy. By the way, we're only now less than 2 weeks out. Boy, I got goosebumps here. From the nightly TV show, InfoWars Nightly News, the beginning of a lot more that'll be premiering at prisonplanet.tv for subscribers starting weeknights at 7 p.m. starting September 1st, Thursday, September 1st at prisonplanet.tv. We're simulcasting the radio show there right now. Visit Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. When you're on the site, you can also tune in 24 hours a day to my daily radio broadcast. There's also a free iPhone app to listen to the syndicated radio show when and where you want.